Welcome to Springs Uncovered, the podcast where local entrepreneurs, new homeowners, and our vibrant community come together to unlock the secrets of success.
We're going to be your go-to source for everything happening in our community. Whether you're a seasoned landlord, a new homeowner, or simply a resident of this beautiful city we live in, we're here to keep you informed, engaged, and connected. Each episode dives into the latest in local real estate trends, important property management updates, and the ever-changing legislative landscape that impacts landlords and tenants alike.
We'll also highlight exciting upcoming events and spotlight the hidden gems around Colorado Springs that make our area so special. Join us as we explore how to properly care for your home, stay ahead of industry changes, and keep you in the loop of everything new in our growing community. Stay tuned for expert insights, community stories, and much more. I'm Lorenis Perez.
And I'm Natalie D. Herrera, and we are your local real estate property managers and hosts for the show. Let's dive in.
Hey, y'all, thanks for tuning in to Springs Uncovered. So this week we wanted to do something a little bit different and fun to help our audience get to know us a bit better. We sent out an email blast to our listeners to engage with you a little bit more and ask questions that you'd like to know about Lorenis and I.
Hola, your feedback was awesome. We got a lot of responses and made a list of our favorite questions. So let's get started. First question comes from Rachel M. Rachel asks, what's one thing about property management that you wish more people understood and appreciated?
I think the main thing that I wish people understood and appreciated is we don't have a magic wand. We can't fix things immediately. So we do our best to.
I totally agree, Natalie. It's true. We don't have a magic wand. Dale. I don't even have my coffee.
Oh,
Good answer, Natalie. So what's going on here, so everybody finds out why we're laughing so much, is I already had an answer planned and she just stole my answer. So that's what's going on right now.
I'm like, oh yeah, you write your answers. I'll wing it. Don't worry about me. And I was like the first one, did you write an answer? She goes, yeah, we don't have a magic wand. And I was like, oh, that's good.
I have to organize myself. I have to at least have an answer prepped. I can wing the answer a little bit, but I have to have some sort of format. Not Natalie. She's good at a whim, just shooting out that answer right away. I'm not telling you any more of my answers.
Stealing an answer. I'm just going to steal your answer. What'd you write for the next one, Marnie?
Nope. Oh man. So on the real tip though, we don't. To answer Rachel's question, what's the one thing property management has that we wish people would understand is it's just that we don't have a magic wand. We wish we did, but we do try and get the best tenant we can for our owners. We do our due diligence and we try and get the proper vendors that'll get the job done as fast as they can. We have to schedule with them. It's not like, hey, drop what you're doing and come over here because Rachel needs her roof fixed. But, we do try. We don't chase down vendors on a Friday afternoon. It's like, please, can you please go over here and do us a favor? That's what the relationship is, and such a great community that we have.
I agree with that 100%. And another thing I think that people forget is just because you're available doesn't mean we're available. We have families as well. I think a lot of people expect that they're the only ones texting us after hours. Oh, it's just a quick text message so I don't forget. I'll send it now. And not knowing that I may be in my daughter's school program and I can't respond right away. It's good to know that we will get back to you, but we don't expect you to work 24/7. So it's not reasonable for us to work 24/7. We work a lot of hours, we work long hours, we work after hours as needed, but we can't be available at everyone's whim and call all the time. So there's times that we can, but making it a habit, just be respectful of our time and our work-life balance so that way we can separate the two, because as property managers, those two become intertwined quite a bit. I don't know how many times I've had to take my daughter on showing or leave my kids at home to go run to a property. And I don't get to spend the time with them that I want. So when I'm home with them, I dedicate that time to them.
But if there's an emergency, I want to know. I don't want you to say, okay, I'm respecting her. And then 2 days later, you tell me, yeah, the whole house flooded. No, please call me and let me know. I think I will stop what I'm doing to pick up your call or your text message if you're telling me the house is flooding. I'm not going to wait till Monday on a Friday afternoon to tell you that.
Completely. Yeah. Emergencies are a different case. Perfect. Next question comes from Antonio D. If you weren't working in property management, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
Whew, me? I would probably be a professional food critic or a stewardess or a traveler that just travels around the world tasting different food. I already get yelled at things I can't control. So at least that way, at least I'm getting paid to eat while I'm doing that. What about you?
I can totally see that. Well, I'd probably be doing something in sales. I've actually considered, if I left property management, I'd go back to sales. Yeah, I've got 15 years sales background. So marketing, what is it called? I was a business development manager for a long time. I love sales. I love, being on my toes and thinking on a whim and
Yeah, you do.
coming back with the response. So I love like the fight, I guess, in sales. I'd either do that, or if I had it my way and I could go back to school, I'd be a lawyer.
A lawyer, huh? Nope. Then I'd definitely call you while I'm traveling the world because no, I can't defend myself even with my kids. Just a daily chaos.
And it's not so much about sales, it's about knowing, like the knowledge of knowing I'm right and not giving up.
Okay. Yep. Nope. I definitely would be a professional travel blogger and a food critic. That's what I love to do. I love to eat. I love to travel. I just love meeting new people and hanging out. So definitely that would be my coincide. But I've been doing property management so long, I can do it while I'm traveling and eating my steak and drinking my vino and hanging out with my grandbaby. I just had a grandbaby. So definitely I would be doing that more. What question do we have? Oh my God, this is so fun. I have another question from Vernon J. Ask, what's the funniest and most outlandish thing a tenant has ever requested after a move-in? Oh. And or what's the craziest thing you found at a move-out? You just did a move-out a couple of days ago. How'd that go?
I don't know about you. I find a lot of sex toys.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. I found a lot of interesting books. I think I found one titled Cooking with Semen. Just at the move out I just did. I took a picture. It's a real thing.
That is disgusting. I found a sword.
A sword.
Okay. Is this a sex show or a property management show? Oh, this one's good. Oh man, I once had a tenant call me in a panic because they were convinced that their apartment was haunted. The lights were flickering, the cabinets were, quote unquote, they were moving on their own. It turns out the people upstairs had like an industrial washing machine and it shook the entire building. I had to explain that while I handled their maintenance request. We don't do exorcisms.
Have you ever had a haunted house?
Not that I know of.
I have.
No, I've gotten some tenants tell me that, but no, I've never really. Should we add an exorcist to our roster?
No, I seriously have, and especially I used to manage properties out in Pueblo, and there were some crazy situations that happened in Pueblo. I had one where a tenant sent me she sent me a video. So she said she felt her house was haunted. Lights would turn on, cabinets would open, and they would hear things downstairs. She sent a video of her kid getting his leg grabbed and like thrown across the room. A video of it. I swear to God, I saw it. My friend still has the video, and she didn't show many people because she's like, no, this is scary. Scary stuff.
Shit.
Like, it's real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. All right. So now I have to carry around my agüita bendita, my holy water with me.
Yeah. Don't manage properties in Pueblo.
Nope.
Just kidding. She had another one where her sister was waiting for her outside. She went inside to do a quick walkthrough, and she heard she went downstairs. She heard the upstairs door slam shut, And she comes upstairs and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm hurrying up. I'm going to be done here in just a minute." And her sister looked at her and she was like, I thought that was you. I haven't left the cart."
Okay. Okay. That's pretty nuts. Um, I've had a deep freezer full of meat, and just prepackaged meat and everything that they left, still plugged in, thank God. I donated all that meat. Um, that was pretty big actually. It was a huge freezer. Remember that being a move out? You get everything. You get beds, you get like people leave just they're like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna leave a few little things." And then you open the door and you're like, "Okay, we're going to need a huge trailer to carry out half of the shit that they left behind that they think it's garbage. So it's either donate it or toss it." And
Have you
then,
ever had a hoarder house?
oh yeah, I walked in one time during a walkthrough and I couldn't even, she was sitting on the chair and I couldn't even get past her. It was just boxes and plants everywhere. The walls were intact, everything, it was just a lot of shit.
I had a hoarder house over last summer, actually, and they moved out because when you mentioned the deep freezer, I totally forgot about this. They had an entire fridge full of food frozen and a deep freezer full of food frozen. I wanted to donate it, but they all expired in like 2017, 2019. It was like 6, 7 years old, more than that. It was awful. They left so much behind. It was sad, really.
Yep. Okay, I have the next question. Jeffrey P asked, "What's your guilty pleasure when you need a break from all the property management chaos?"
Oh, I think alcoholism. No, I mean just like everybody else. I think we do have a really stressful job, so there's times where it's nice to just go out with friends and have happy hour and just relieve some stress. But it's a predominantly negative industry, to be honest, because you're always fighting with someone. You're always fighting for late rent or move out, or we're fixing problems constantly. So it takes a huge toll on the mental, right? And our mental health is super important. So as property managers in this industry, we've got to learn to take a step back a little bit and just take a day for self-care. Sometimes it's too overwhelming. What about you?
Pretty much, I like to walk a little hike. I wouldn't say that I like to walk a lot and do a lot of working out, but for the most part, I do like to take a little hike here and there with my dog if it's not snowing. And I love to binge watch. I'll binge watch TV for hours and I'll just yell at the TV, like if they're listening to me and they know what I'm telling them, like, "No, don't go in there," or "No, what the flip are you doing?" Or just that's probably my one of my guilty pleasures. And eating and planning my next trip and eating and planning my next trip. But I love just hanging out with people. So I'll probably just call somebody and it's like, "Hey, what are you doing? You want to hang out? Let's go for a walk. Let's go to the farmer's market." Just anything to get out and about. But if I do that binge watching moment, I'll have those for days. So I have a little bit
Yeah,
of both.
I can do that too. So kind of a follow-up question, what do you do for self-care?
Glass of wine, get some massage, and just hang out with people. Honestly, self care for me is just hanging out and laughing with some friends or family. Or my daughter Bella keeps me pretty occupied, so that's my self care too. I guess it sounds weird, but just hanging out with her, knowing that in a few years she's going to graduate and do her own thing, and so I'm just trying to absorb just as much time as I can with her. So whatever she wants to do, if she wants to hang out in bed and watch TV, then I'm going to hang out in bed and watch TV with my glass of wine.
Yeah, that's good. I know I went through a class, like a bereavement class, and one of the things that actually helped a lot was that they say that stress and trauma, we carry it on our shoulders, and we don't realize how much it physically weighs us down. And sometimes it's good to just sit at the edge of your bed or sit at the edge of the couch or whatever and just take a deep breath in and imagine all of that stress and all of that weight coming off of us and sitting up taller. And you can literally feel yourself getting like raising up because you don't realize like how hunched over you are just from the weight of all the stress. So breathing exercises are super important to me. Do a lot of that, do some yoga to try and relieve
Church.
the stress in a healthy way. Church is huge for me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next question. Jasmine R ask, if is this Jasmine? Jasmine? Oh, this is another Jasmine,
Hmm.
probably. If you could describe your property management style in one word, what would it be and why? Go.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. I think my property management style in one word, best word for me would probably be compassion or understanding. I actually love what Andrea said in the last episode so much that I highlighted it in the beginning. Like we can enforce, but we can enforce with kindness. I love that because everybody has bad days. Everybody has things going on and we're human. You know, I am still a renter myself. Yes, I own a property, but I also rent as well. So I'm in that same boat. I understand what people are going through. I understand homeowners that need to pay their mortgage by the 15th and the stress that that brings in not being able to cover the mortgage in time because the rent hasn't been paid. But I also understand the tenant who just lost their job and is struggling and going to find assistance, going to different programs, and there's no funding available, but they're doing the work and putting it in. So and that's the beauty of our job is we get to be kind of the middleman and the peacemakers between the two and find a good compromise. So it's
Yeah,
good to see the other side of that.
you have some tenants that'll like try and hustle you and try and give you lies and stories. It's like, dude, let's just be real. Just be real with me. Let's work together. Let's figure out a solution. I don't want you to leave the property just as much as you don't want to leave, but I have to report to the owner. I have to give him an update. So just tell me what's up. That's kind of like I would describe my style. I'm very personal. I like just to have a relationship with every one of my clients, every one of the tenants. I like to know what's going on in their life, just so that way I'm in the loop of everything that's going on, and contacting the owners. I don't like just meeting different people and not knowing what's going on. Because every day in property management feels like an episode of a reality show. I'm trying not to get voted off the island. you know,
Yeah, for real.
between emergency
Yeah.
calls and unreasonable tenant requests, sometimes last minute owner demands. It's all about just adapting, staying calm under pressure, and making sure that I don't run out of coffee.
Yeah. I can actually attest to that. I've seen you before. I've seen you talk to a tenant, even with marijuana. I know marijuana is legal here in Colorado. And I'm not your mom. I don't want to tell you if you can smoke weed or not. It's legal. A reason why some people even move here.
Just go
I don't
outside.
care. Do what you do. Go outside. Don't smoke in my house. Go outside. Do what you do. I don't care. If I do a walkthrough and you've got your pipe sitting there, I don't care.
Put it away.
Put it away. Do what you do outside.
Just don't, take care of the house. You just have a responsibility. You are now, you have a home. Take care of the home, just let's work together here.
Yeah. One thing that is going to piss me off, though, is if I go and the house smells like smoke, that is going to piss me off because I already told you.
That's for sure.
So, all right, moving on. I love this one, actually. So this question comes from Mike M. What's the best piece of advice a tenant, owner, or peer has ever given you?
Always document everything. I've been doing this for over 15 years, and that advice that they gave me, still when people remind me about it, I'm like, yes, always document everything. The longer you do this job, the more you realize that it's not in writing. It didn't happen. Just be honest, communicate. It might save your life, or at least a court hearing or two.
Yeah, for sure. That's a really good answer. Yeah, I didn't write anything beforehand for that, so I'm gonna go with that one too.
You see what happens when you're prepared? All right, next question. Veronica R. What's a non-work related hobby or interest you have that people might be surprised to hear about? What's a non-work related hobby? I want to make sure that I said that in English properly.
Mine is, I think you already know what I'm going to say. Singing. I love to sing.
Yes, you do, and you do it well.
I love to sing. That's one thing people know about me. Like if you know Natalie and she's not singing, then you don't know Natalie. When I'm happy, I sing. I've been told I sing in my sleep. Like I love singing, and that's also a guilty pleasure of mine too. Is going out and singing karaoke.
You do sing beautifully.
It's a release for me. Thank you.
Me, I love travel hacking. Travel hacking is it's finding a cheap deal, connecting people, helping people. I like that. Like if you're just started up your business and you're a small business owner and you're mowing lawns and you call me and tell me, hey, Jeff, I want to connect you with other property managers. I want to connect you with other realtors. I just like connecting people. And of course the travel hacks. If, hey, Lernies, I'm flying over here. Can you help me find a good deal? Yep. So I'll help you with that. Once I booked a trip, it'll cost you a shit ton of money and I'll get you probably a good deal. I'll figure that
Yeah, I
out.
never even knew that was a thing actually called travel hacking like that. I
Well,
mean, I
it's
know like
called
it's a
travel
thing that you're
agent. I
aware.
just, I hack it.
Oh, it's a Laurenese pointer.
Yep. It's a
I
Spanglish
like
thing.
it. I like it. Now I know who to call when I travel. If I travel, I need to take a break.
Well, if you're going to take me with you, then I'll help you. But if not,
Yeah.
I got properties to manage. Sorry.
Let's do it.
Oh,
So next
shit.
question. This one comes from Jennifer S. She says, "What's the most creative solution you've had to come up with for a property?" Thank you, Jennifer, for that question. That's a good one. Go ahead.
Oh, man. The most creative solution. I didn't prep too much for this one. One time a tenant, she was absolutely convinced that there was a draft in the house. It's cold, it's cold, it's cold. I sent a maintenance guy. By the way, that maintenance guy doesn't work for me anymore because he didn't figure this one out. And I walked the whole house and I noticed one of the windows behind the couch was open about maybe 2 inches, just a little bit open, was letting out that draft. And I was just walking around the whole house. I was like, man, what's going on? She's like, yeah, it's just drafty. It's expensive. My bill's expensive. I was like, your bill's expensive. So I was like, I saw the window cracked open and I didn't want to make her feel like shit. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go outside, see if I can fix it. So I went outside to the outside of the house and I literally just closed the window and said, okay, I fixed the problem. Handyman you over here. And it was literally just a window behind the couch that you couldn't even see. I'm like, do you even move the couch to clean? I just no comprendo.
That's funny.
That's probably
Handy
one
over
like
here.
just came out of my head right now because again, I didn't plan for this question. I totally missed this question.
That's funny. Most creative solution I've had to come up with. Okay, here's one actually. Have you ever been? I had an owner who didn't give me keys until the very last minute. Right, it was owner occupied. They were moving out. I had a tenant moving in the next day. I asked for the keys, asked for the keys, asked for the keys.
That's
I need
scary.
the keys. I need you on my reports. I need to get everything done. We need the keys probably about a good week, I would say, before the tenants move in to make sure that everything is compliant, everything's ready to go. I got the keys the night before. And the tenants were moving in, and it was literally like the night before. So I couldn't go take pictures because it's already dark. I'm with my kids. Like, I can't drive across town and do this right now. So I had to go first thing in the morning before the tenants got there to do my move in. And I'm in there taking pictures. I find that there's like 15 lights out and missing. There's like little fixes that I could have just had done. It would have just taken me a day. I just needed a day to prepare, but there was nothing seriously wrong with the house. So I couldn't leave. Tenant was already on their way there. They were going to be there in like 30 minutes. So I called my best friend and I was like, hey, where are you right now? Like, do me a favor, I'll give you $20. So had her run to the store. She brought her step stool because I didn't have anything with me either. Even if I ran to get light bulbs, I didn't have a step stool with me, so I could change them out. Nothing. I took pictures of all the lights that were missing, and I was like, go grab me this. Grab me a curtain rod, grab me this, grab me that. Man, she got there within 15 minutes with everything, and we got it all installed, ready to go. She took off. We loaded all of the items that were left in the garage in her truck. She took off, and the tenant pulled up. Didn't know a thing.
That's frantic. That makes me a little nervous sometimes when it's like, okay, the tenants are moving in tomorrow. They just turned in keys today. And you're like, oh my God, you just pray that everything is kosher inside the house. But that's what property management is. It's pretty much problem solving. I think if I had to shoot out a number, I'd say maybe 75% of it is just problem solving and definitely making the problem go away. Alex said that to me one time. He's like, your main job should always be make that problem go away as fast as possible. And I was like, touche. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, thinking on our toes.
It's like Jedi mind tricks.
Jedi. It took me a minute. I was like, what are you
I don't know.
talking about?
I've never seen Star Wars, but I know like that whole so
yeah, there's times that where I've been super proud of myself where an owner was like, went through the walkthrough, carpets were completely saturated with pet urine. The whole house needed a paint.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
tons of things needed to be done. And I asked owners, okay, what's your budget realistically? Like, how much money do you have to put into this home to get it ready to move in? This particular house was probably going to be at least $2,500 worth of work, minimum, right? And that was without painting the entire house. That was just touch up paint. So I'm like, minimum, it's going to be about 2,500. He had maybe $1,200 that we could put into the house.
Oh, wow.
Man, I don't know how, but I made it happen. I made it happen, pulled some strings, called in some homie hookups, and made it happen. I got everything done for, I think I was a little bit over budget, which he was okay with. I think we got everything done for like $1,500. So there's times where when that happens and it's like little moments of success and you're like, I am good
Boom.
at my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Eloise V. She asks, what's your favorite part of the job that doesn't get talked about enough? Honestly, the detective work. People
Good
think that we
answer.
just collect rent and coordinate repairs, but half the time we're just solving mysteries. We're just solving problems. Again, back to the
Hmm.
problem solving. What do you think? What's your answer?
That's actually a really good answer. I would say my favorite part is those little victories, like I just mentioned in the answering the last question, pulling things off that I didn't think I would have any way of doing, and then you pull it off. It just feels so good, so rewarding. Or ways that you were able to fix a maintenance issue for a tenant that they've had this issue forever, and hey, let's come up with a creative way to fix it. I think that's kind of the thing that I love most.
100%. I agree. It's like a little, like a game, not really a game. I wouldn't call it a game, actually, but sometimes you just have to laugh at it and make it a game in a way, because if not, there's so many property managers in town that just, including myself, I have my moments that I'm like, oh my God, really? And I just need to take a breather and just start all over and just go, okay, Lorenis, make a list, figure it out, knock out the big issues first, and then the little miscellaneous ones like, oh, my knob in my door is loose. Please have someone here ASAP. No, no, absolutely not. Espérate un momento y mañana I will send somebody to you.
Yeah. I
Sorry.
think it is like a game, and I'm the winner.
They're definitely always
Because
the winner.
I'm always the winner. My competitiveness is coming out. Don't mind me. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is a game. It is a game, and I'm gonna win. I'm gonna dominate it.
Winner.
So this is a good one.
Yes, go.
Hillary R. Has a good question. She writes, who or what inspires you the most in your property management journey? I like this one.
All right, you want me to answer that one first? All right, let's go. Other people in this journey, other property managers, hands down. Other property
Mhm.
managers in town. I come from Florida and I did property management in Florida, but community here is just so different. NARPM, CPM. Every time that I chat with a fellow property manager that's been in the game a long time, I always learn something. I always learn problem solving tricks, how to deal with somebody, how to not to deal with somebody. Oh my God, I got a court, I got a hearing, I got an eviction. What should I do? What have you guys done? And then you hear their stories. Like they're
Mhm.
crazy stories sometimes, and we just swap stories, and it's like, that's what you did. All right, bet. Next time I have that story in my head, so if I ever get into that situation, that's how I'm going to handle it. And just there is so many great property managers in town. I really am saying that truly. There really is. And each of them have been a mentor for me in one way or another. Even you have been a mentor for me in one way or another. Like, you know your shit. Like, you're on
Aw.
top of it too. So it's just, I just constantly learn from people. I don't want to be one of those property managers like, well, I've been in the game for over 15 years and I don't need to learn anything new. No, things are always changing, especially here. Even the
Mhm.
laws, they're always changing. So I just always just rub a shoulder here and there, rub something. But that way I'm just always learning. And the NARPM, we go to the NARPM meetings
Wait. What
every
was that
month.
last part?
I forgot. Don't
Moving
get
on.
me in trouble. The NARPM luncheons, once a month, you go to a NARPM lunch, everybody's there. Everybody's talking about something that's going on in their life, something that happened with one of the owners, something that happened with one of their tenants. You have the speakers, it's giving you just a plethora of information. Um,
A
And
plethora and whoa.
plethora, I know. I used a big word. I was going to
Okay.
use the other word, the no, I'm not even going to try using the other word.
Calamari.
Calamaris. Calamity. I don't know. And then, like, when we go to the SEPA meetings, we're just literally exchanging numbers of different vendors. So there's always a mentor out there. I'm
Yeah,
sure, I've been told many times that I've been a mentor for people as well. And I love hearing that. And I'm like, tell me what's up.
absolutely.
What can I help you with? You call me at 9 o'clock at night and you're like, hey, dude, I got this issue. And my broker is not helping me out, because then just help them out. What about you?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think my thing is women-owned businesses. Oh man, they inspire me so much.
Yes. Good.
Rosie, Misty, Jen, Angie, Julia, all of these people that we network with and have been in the
Yep.
industry for so long. I'm so inspired by them. I think it's beautiful to watch these women-owned businesses thrive. Ruth, my goodness, like
I love
she's
her.
a force to be reckoned with. I know, man. She cracks me
Yeah,
up.
you've dropped a lot of
Yeah,
good names here.
yeah, we've got, I could keep going. There's so many, Alex, Daniel, Betsy, like these people that are just staples in the industry that I just look up to and admire. They inspire me the most. They make it actually fun to be in this industry. So, and then I think the other thing that also inspires me is my kids. I want to have something to pass
Aw.
on to them. I want to always be learning. That's my thing. I always I don't want to ever be the smartest person in the room,
Never.
and I know that sounds cliche, but there's courses at CC that you can take that are free. There's times that I just go and sit in a college course and just learn like about how lightning happens, and I'm just like, "Gosh, that's amazing.
I've
It's
taken
so
classes
helpful."
twice sometimes, and not because I didn't learn the whole class and understand it. It's just a few years later, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take that class again just to freshen up, see if different instructor teaches something different in a different way. You got
Mhm.
Daniel Muldoon teaches classes, Doug Barber. Sometimes I just show up to their classes, and it's everybody has a different way of teaching, and that's what mentorship is about.
Yeah, I think we all learn from each other really well. So many great questions. Thank you, Lourdes, for doing that with me and putting yourself out there, being vulnerable a little bit. It's nice to get to know each other a little bit. Well, we know each other pretty well, but it's nice to have a chance where our listeners can get to know us. I think this episode was a lot of fun. What do you think?
I do. I think it was great. I think this is still just the early stages for us, and we'll have so much planned for this year.
Yeah,
And
keep the feedback coming, guys. Keep the questions and the topics that you'd be interested in hearing coming. We love getting your emails and knowing what we're doing here is making a difference. I love that.
we've got that vendor social event that we're planning up. I think it's in May or in June. Natalie, do you want to tell the listeners a little bit about that?
Totally. Yeah. So over the past month, Lourdes and I have been out promoting the podcast at different marketing events and business gatherings to grow our audience. And we got to talking. So it was actually a marketing event where it was like a speed dating event with vendors that we went to. We thought, man, this is so cool. We should have another one of these. So there really hasn't been an event dedicated to vendor connections for growing new businesses to connect with clients. So we wanted to open it to the public. We have a ton of vendors and owners who ask for referrals for other trade professionals in the industry, but it's ever changing. So we're going to put it together.
Exactly. So we're going to rock this up. It's like a 10-minute speed dating, more or less. Everybody gets to chat with everybody. We'll have the vendors chatting with owners and other property managers. Everybody's just going to be together, which is probably going to be held at the Purple Onion. And on that day of the event, we'll just give everybody some folders and some spaces with their business cards, and maybe some questions that they can ask each other as well. We'll have some icebreaker questions to help introduce you to the start of the conversation, and it breaks the ice.
Yeah. It's also the restaurant setting. So grab some food, grab some drinks, loosen up a little bit. Not everybody's great at starting conversations. So we'll give you guys some icebreakers, some questions to ask so that we can connect. But I don't know how many times I've gone and just to a vendor networking event and met somebody and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I needed you until now. I didn't realize how you could help me in this industry or the ideas that you have. Like, I think the best example is Katie. Katie with Colorado Duck Doctors. I don't need my ducks clean all the time, or I have properties that need ducks clean, but she's got so many different ideas that I'm like, man, let's do lunch. Let's talk more about this because
Yep.
I love where your head's at. I love your ideas and what you're thinking. Let's connect and get into this a little bit more. So I think connecting with other business professionals in the industry, you start to learn where their mindset's at and how you guys can help each other, even if it's not specific to what their trade is, just swapping ideas. So I'm super excited about it.
Me too. I think that's about it. And we've answered, I'm just checking here through the notes. I think we answered pretty much all the questions. Just stay tuned for more details on that, on our event, and send us an email for more information or to be added into our mailing list at springsuncovered.com to get our newsletter with community events and more information.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to Colorado Springs Uncovered this week. I know this one was a little bit different. I hope it helped to get to know us a little bit better. And we'll have more information for you guys next week.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today. We'll be out and about in town as well, just partying it up. I don't know if anybody's going to the parade next week, but we will be out in the parade. And if you see me and you are the first to find me and mention Springs Uncovered, you will get a $50 gift card. It's like a Where's Lorene's kind of thing. So hopefully you guys see you out there. If you're not following us and you don't know what I look like, then boo-hoo for you.
I will be on the lookout for you.
No,
All
that's
right,
cheating. You're such a cheater.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.